Hi, this is Shah.
And this is Sam.
This is a review of 10911 Danny Boy. Now, what did you mark the episode?
10.
10 out of 10 for me.
It was amazing.
It was awesome. Now let's talk about the episode. Let's start at the beginning with the whole Julian driving in the cop car.
That was
Hilarious.
so funny.
Oh my god. He was like, I've never drove in a cop car before. And then like, Dad was like, told him where the siren thing was.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was funny.
He's like, yeah, he's kind of nearly dying and you can still...
Yeah. And when Brooke overheard and it was like she just disappeared.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, Nathan's back and stuff. Okay, let's talk about probably the moment that we've all been waiting for since this season began. The Naley reunion.
About bloody time.
Oh, I loved it. And it was just so heartwarming. And Always and Forever came up.
Yes. I love the fact they added that in, Always and Forever.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Which was epic.
And I was like, finally them to have an awesome scene this season.
I cried so much.
Yeah, I just
throughout all
loved
the
it.
episode, but that...
I loved that it kind of was having her looking for him, and it was like, didn't know whether he was alive or dead.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. What did you think of when had that scene in the hospital when Rudy and Naley were together and
Yeah, when Brooke was walking in and she was like, I don't need to see, I just want to see my friends.
yeah.
Funny.
I loved it, and it was like there's a real good friendship between these four people now.
And I loved the whole Julian and Nathan friendship.
And did you love when Haley thanked him and said, you saved my son and
You saved my husband.
yeah.
I loved that.
I loved it because it was kind of acknowledging that he had done that.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. What about when you find out Dan's dying?
Oh my god, so sad.
And Haley has to tell Jamie, but he's had so much heartbreak, Jamie.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's Grandpa Dan, he'll be fine, he'll be fine.
But he knew what she was going to say because he's had that look before. I just loved it.
I love that he knew what those looks meant.
Yeah, and I love that Haley couldn't physically tell him that this is what's going to happen. He's going to die. He's not going to survive because she's her son. She doesn't want to hurt him.
Yeah.
What did you think of then? There was a scene straight after that with Dan and Jamie where he was apologising for yelling at Dan the last time.
Yeah, oh, I love that.
And he said that you're the man of the house. And
yeah.
I just loved it. I love their relationship. I've loved it ever since season 5, and I'm just sad that he's gone because
I can't.
I
can't. No, I can't.
What about the scene with Haley and Dan, and then the kids come in after where he apologises to Haley for killing Keith.
Yeah.
I loved it because it was kind of, you never really acknowledged the fact that it affected Lucas, it affected Nathan, but
it also affected Haley.
yeah, because Keith was a big part of her life, and I loved the fact that they acknowledged that. And he wanted to be remembered, and I love the fact that she said that you will be remembered as a great grandfather because he is.
Yeah.
And I loved when
she says when Lydia asked about her grandpa Dan,
Yeah.
I'll say that he loves his grandchildren.
and when he got to hold her, I was just like, oh.
Horrible.
And when Jamie
Horrible
came
in a
in,
sad way.
and he said that I'm supposed to be brave, but I can't. Let's talk about that other Naley scene when they do start walking.
And Haley breaks down.
It was so horrible, but it was awesome as well.
Because you got to see how much Haley went through.
Yeah.
Trying to be strong for everybody.
Did you like the whole Dan flashbacks?
Yeah, I did.
I loved it because, as you know, I've loved Dan since
Yeah.
the first season, because I've always said without Dan there is no show. He is
Yeah.
Dan Scott.
And in so many ways, he's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Way too many ways. Keith was always... I'm not hating on him.
Oh, I am. I hate
He
Keith.
was always one that people thought that Keith was better than Dan.
Yeah.
And
Because Dan was just, he was a scared kid, and he
Yeah.
didn't know what to do. And then it was just, I think he couldn't grow up.
I've always preferred Dan over Keith because, let's be honest, Keith annoyed the hell out of me.
I preferred anyone over Keith. I hate Keith.
Yeah, I remember when Keith died, she was happy.
Yeah, I didn't like Keith. Okay, I had issues with Keith, and I still have issues with Keith. What about? Let's talk about something different from Dan because it's getting a bit depressing. We'll go back to that after. What about Julian turning Lucas's book into a TV show?
Amazing.
I hated how they ended that story with, a movie didn't
Yeah, it
you
didn't
know,
get picked up.
because come on, it would get picked up. We have loved this show from the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't you think other people would love a movie of it? But I love that, and I can't wait to see where that goes.
Amazing.
What about Deb coming back? Deb and
Amazing.
Nancy.
I love Deb. Well, you know I love Deb.
Oh, I love Deb too, and hilarious scene with them two. Because I thought we needed something funny in that,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that he was like, "I don't want you to feel guilty about Keith's death. It was my choice," and I just loved it because, although I think she should feel guilty,
Yeah.
because if she hadn't, done that thing to Dan, then maybe Keith would be alive. But then I'd hate that because I don't like Keith. Let's talk about Clay and Quinn. I wasn't a big fan of
I
them
think
this
it was
episode.
out of place because
Yeah.
the episode was about Dan,
Yeah.
and then I'm happy that he's finally getting to talk to his son, and like Quinn saw him,
Yeah.
and I'm happy about that. But to me, it was just a bit out of place for the episode.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like it. What about Brooke's storyline? I loved Brooke's storyline because it's just This episode just shows why Brooke has been my favourite character from the very first episode she was in, and I've always loved Brooke, and I just loved it. And that scene with her dad after her dad's left,
Yeah.
when she finally stands up to him,
What an ass.
and then when she's like, "Why doesn't my dad love me?" I broke down. Tears. I had to
I did
stop
cry.
watching the episode because I was just let's talk about Dan's death. And
Do we have to?
okay, let's talk about the bit before Dan's death then,
Thank
give
you.
you a bit of time. When he's talking to Nathan, but it's at the River Court,
Yeah.
that whole thing was amazing because we've never heard Dan's side of why he killed Keith.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, and it's made me love Dan, but it's made me realise why he did kill Keith. And it was just heartbreaking.
And when Nathan said, "You're my dad and I love you,"
I just...
Nathan killed me, let's just say, all throughout the episode.
yeah.
Because for years he's hated his dad, and then
Yeah.
he finally comes to realise that he loves his dad
Yeah.
and all of this.
A
And
lot
then
of
he
people have
dies.
a problem that Lucas never turns up. Why would he?
Why would he? Let's be honest, Dan was never in his life.
And also, he killed basically his dad.
Yeah.
So
And ruined
Yeah.
his sister's life, so.
talk about his death. That was very well done, I thought.
Very well done, extremely heartbreaking.
Until that vile creature turned up.
I love the fact that Keith came back.
Yeah, I do love the fact, but then at first I was like, what are you doing here?
Mm.
This is Dad's
Because,
moment.
like, it was such a huge shock, because nobody knew that Keith was gonna, like,
No.
come
But
back.
I love that it went back to that hallway,
Yeah,
because that is where they both died that day.
yeah.
And I love, the only time I've ever loved Keith was in this episode.
Yeah, I love when he said, when Dan said, "I know where you're going, but where am I going?" And he was like, "Oh, come on, brother."
I loved it because
You're my plus
he
one.
forgave him,
For killing him, yeah.
because that is, I just thought it was amazing. And when he said it does get better, and when they walked off, it can't. I loved their relationship when Keith was on the show. I really wish that they got to
Still
like
did
each
it,
other
yeah.
a bit better. And I just love that's how it ended with them two brothers. Because let's be honest, that's what the show's been about.
Yeah.
It's been about Scott brothers, and I just love that they gave them a
And, like,
fitting ending for
yeah.
them two characters. Because when Keith died, I thought they kind of left it in the air a bit.
Yeah.
So I just like that. Okay, that can't talk about it anymore because I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
I have a question about promo. If you haven't watched it, just
Spoiler.
skip along.
Spoiler
Skip along.
Yeah. Skip to
I have a
the
question about promo. Because the way they're writing it is like all the seasons of One Tree Hill have been Julian's story kind of thing.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing, but that's what it's going to be like. And I hope when it ends, and if they do that, they don't ruin it. I really don't want them to ruin it, because I'll just be like, 9 seasons and we get that.
Yeah. But I think I think it's going to be amazing.
And if they do that, and I know a lot of people are moaning about it because it's going to be like Dawson's Creek and whatever, and
Dawson's Creek was awesome. Just saying.
And people thinking it's going to be a cop out of Dawson's Creek and he's copying Dawson's Creek.
How is it
It's like-
copying?
Yeah.
Because they
Don't ask me.
knew. They knew all the
Don't ask
time
me.
that Dawson was the like guy that wrote it and whatever.
Mm.
But no, I think that would be amazing. And you know, more Brooke. I love Brooke. So and I think it will be good to, because it has been kind of all about Nelly this season, like trying to find him and whatever, and maybe have
Which I'm glad, because no,
Yeah.
last season,
Maybe they have
hardly any.
they have like cute moments, Nelly, but then make it like about this story. I think it's a good way because it is coming to an end.
Yeah.
It's
Because I mean,
never
let's
like
be
that.
honest, last season finale was absolute rubbish. I
Yeah.
hardly had any scenes, and it was all about Brilliant and Clay and Quinn, and I loved Nelly on my one true pair of the show, and I was really, really annoyed, and I hated it, which kind of made me not like the other couples, because I was just like, I don't care.
Oh,
I
I
want
do.
more Nelly.
Because I am a major Brilliant fan,
Yeah, you are.
and but I'm more of a Brooke fan, and I love anything that has Brooke in it, and she's just amazing.
So for me this season, even though they haven't been apart, I've loved the whole Nelly thing.
Yeah.
And the reunion
They
for
needed
me,
it as well, yeah.
The reunion for me was just perfect.
Yeah. And they need to sort Clay and Quinn out.
No,
They need
seriously.
to majorly
They either
sort
need
them out.
Quinn to get pregnant, or them to get married.
Yeah. What was your highlight of the episode?
Nearly reunion.
That was your highlight of the episode?
Yes.
Mine was Keith and Dan, definitely. And Brooke. That whole thing with Brooke. But then I would say that because I love
You would
Brooke.
say that, and I
Yeah.
would say Nearly because you know.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of our review. We will be doing some more soon. Don't
Yeah.
know when, but we'll keep you posted. Okay, bye.
Bye.